All right, let's learn how to make some chords. The very beginning of playing a song. Hopefully you've been practicing some rhythm. You're starting to get a sense for that. You're going to do that at every single practice or maybe every other, even if it's just a minute or two. Then the next thing is, how do you make chords on the guitar? So the first step is just teaching our hands how to do it. It's not super easy out of the gate, but it comes with time. In the same way that a child has to first learn how to hold a pencil, it's hard before they can even write with a pencil. You have to learn how to hold a chord before you can make music. So you should print out that booklet that I have down here in the description. It's on page 16. I show you some simple chords. In that booklet, you'll see dots where you're supposed to put your fingers, and they're labeled with numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is your first finger, second finger, third finger, and your pinky is your fourth finger. So it tells you exactly where to put it. So to make a C, you put your first finger here, second finger here, and third finger here. Now, a couple things I want to point out. Where do you put your finger? If I'm trying to put it on this first fret and I play it way up here, that string will not be pushed down against the metal fret, so it won't ring. So if I'm pushing way up here, see, it sounds dead. But when I get close to the metal fret, what I'm doing is making a connection with that string and this fret right here. So I want to push pretty close to it, but not right on top of it. If I'm way on top, it deadens it as well, because now I'm past that connection. I want a clean connection from that metal bar to the rest of the string. So when I'm doing a C, I want each one of my fingers to be roughly in that zone of between halfway down and almost to the fret. Now the next thing I want to point out is you can't touch, if I'm using this finger right here to play that string, it can't be bent over and touching the other strings, because it'll make the other strings dead when I'm playing that next string. The one I'm trying to play sounds good, but the string next to it should be, you can't hear it anymore because my finger's pushing it. So I have to bend them around and come almost straight down with it. So that's the best way to do this. See how my finger is right here? It's coming straight down on it, not over like that. So I bend them all around so they're all coming straight down. So I'm only touching the string I'm trying to play with each finger. And if I do that with all my fingers, all of them kind of up and down straight, it'll sound nice into the C chord. Right? If I happen to be touching one of them, what I recommend doing is, if you look in that booklet, you'll see you're supposed to play the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth string, not the top string. So I'm going to pluck each one at a time. They all sound good. Now if I did it where it didn't sound right, it'd be like this. Good, 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 good. Okay, that last one isn't working, so I know my finger right here is too bent over that way, and it's deadening and touching the other string. So I bend them back over. Another good trick to do is this thumb back here, you want to place on the back of the guitar. And it allows me to curl my fingers around and not have them too flat. So I'm bending them all around so all my fingers go straight up and down. And you do that with each one of those chords. So for the C chord, I'm playing one string at a time until I get them. And now the other chord is that G chord. There's two ways to play a G. One like this. The other is the full G. You'll see this in the booklet. It's easier to look at that while I'm talking to you as opposed to me showing you everything here. It's just harder to do. So each string plays right. In a G, you play each one of the strings. Now again, I'm kind of cheating here with my thumb across. I just told you to put it on the back. This is kind of a way that, I don't know, people like me and a lot of people still play with your thumb over there. I think it's probably better to do the proper classical form because it makes it faster to change and do other stuff, but it's fine if you do it this way. And then when I play the C, sometimes I'll wrap my thumb over and barely touch that string to deaden it on purpose, because you don't play that string when you're playing a C. So that's kind of how I play a C. G, D. So don't expect to do this right away, okay? Just practice one chord at a time. So stay on your G and you'll be like, okay, I'm not playing that one right because I'm touching it, or I'm not pushing it down hard enough, or I've got it too far up or too far down, too close to the fret or too far away from the fret. So go one string at a time. This is a D. D is just the bottom 4 strings I'm playing. Wait till you get them all. And then same thing for C. And then same thing for G. You should be able to play every string you're supposed to play with that chord and have it ring true and pretty. Not dead like that. Not kind of dead where it's kind of dead. It's rattling. I'm just not pushing hard enough. Not push hard enough. And making sure no other finger is touching that string to deaden it. So you want to do that with each of those chords. Start with G, C, and D, because once you have G, C, and D, you can play 1,000 songs. But then look at the other chords in the book as well. And that's all you got to do to play chords. Go easy on yourself. This will take weeks. It's not going to happen right away. You have to train your hand to make those positions before you can play the chords. Okay, the next lesson will be on strumming patterns and changing chords so we can actually start putting a song together. But again, do this 10, 15 minutes a day. That's it. 10, 15 minutes a day until you get to where you can form each chord consistently, quickly, easily. The other points I would make is you want to start practicing as soon as you can, only pushing down as hard as you need to. If you're forcing it too hard, your hand's going to get tired. You could actually develop carpal tunnel syndrome. You also want, see how my wrist is straight now? It's almost like a straight plank as I'm playing, as opposed to bent like this too much or tweaked like that. If you're playing like that, that's going to give you carpal tunnel syndrome as well, or just problems with your wrist. You want a flat, nice flat wrist, and you don't only want to be pushing down as hard as you need to. No harder, because it's just a waste of energy and your hand's going to get tired. So start working on that as well.